Hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome back to my Terminator the Sarah Connor Chronicles Season 1 review series. Now, in the second episode I'm going to talk about today, we're going to finally see Derek Reese appearing in an episode, and it's not just going to be a stupid, just like there's the arm for a second and you sort of have to look out of the corner of your eye to see him. No, he actually fucking really appears, and the episode he appears in is the episode where I really consider the series actually start because I'm that much of a fucking fangirl. So, let's get started.
It is your destiny.
Fuck my destiny.
What's the name of the game that we are playing? Well, whenever I think that we are winning, then you roll the dice, take a slide right back to the one from 99. Is it gonna go on like this forever? Are we gonna take that last step together, going round and round and up and down? Feels just like snakes and ladders. Baby, don't it feel like a...
Now, John Connor, throughout Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles, struggles with figuring out his place as the future leader of mankind, figuring out what that means, how he should deal with it now before the whole war with Skynet begins. And so when he has to let Jordan die because Cameron wouldn't let him save her, he sort of struggles because he goes that, I'm the future leader of mankind, I'm supposed to save people, why should I not help people now? And what probably makes this really hard for him is that both Sarah Connor and Cameron say that, hey, don't save people, don't bring attention to yourself. It must be really hard on him. So in the episode Heavy Metal, he takes an unnecessary risk where he puts himself and therefore the fate of mankind in danger just because he wants to do something. In the episode Heavy Metal, James Ellison gets onto Cromartie's trail, though Ellison does not yet know that Terminators are real and that Cromartie is a Terminator. So this actually creates some really tense scenes for the audience, if not for Ellison himself, because at one point, who you think is Cromartie getting his blood taken turns out to be Laszlo, and then later Ellison goes to catch up with Laszlo and it's actually Cromartie. That it's actually very tense for the audience because you think that Cromartie is going to kill people. In the episode Heavy Metal, Sarah Connor and Cameron team up to rescue John Connor, and as I mentioned before, their duo is just awesome to watch. Just how they work together, how they interact with each other, how they complement each other. At one point, Sarah Connor leaves the driver in a minefield, and Cameron points out that that's highly illogical for Sarah to do, and indeed, that is the only time in the entire series that Sarah makes a decision like that. And for years I just didn't really get why Sarah would do that. I sort of wrote that off as just a plot hole. But once I rewatched it for this review series, I sort of realized that Sarah Connor was fucking stressed. She thought her son, basically the center of her universe, was going to die and that she was going to have failed Kyle Reese. So of course she would take an action like this at this particular moment because she was just off, she was scared, and so she could only find one person that she could really attack at the moment, and she did. Now, chess is a sort of sci-fi cliche, and I really don't know why that is. It might be because chess is supposed to be this very intellectual game that only really smart people are supposed to understand, and sci-fi just uses a lot. Now, I adore Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles, and it's really my favorite TV series of all time. But when I saw that Queen's Gambit focused really heavily on chess, I just sort of was going, God, not this cliche again, god damn it. But it worked, and the only feeling of, oh god, no, only lasted for half a second, but Queen's Gambit, by the title alone, is a chess move. And the whole thing of this episode is focused around a chess tournament between two computers. In Queen's Gambit, Charlie is confronted by Cromartie. Cromartie is pretending to be an FBI agent investigating John Connor and Sarah Connor. Charlie plays a dumb and says that he thought that both John and Sarah were killed in the bank explosion. Cromartie sort of seems to know that something's up, leaves a quote-unquote business card, and leaves. And Charlie's wife sort of goes, hey, something's up. I know you're sort of speaking bullshit. And so Charlie finally admits that John Connor broke into their house a few days earlier. And so it does appear that Charlie still has feelings for Sarah Connor and John Connor. Sarah being his former fiancée and John being someone who he considered a son. And he's willing to protect both of them from the FBI even though he doesn't really know what the fuck is going on. In Queen's Gambit, we finally get to see Derek Reese for the first time, and not just a, hey, look at it, it's his arm for 5 fucking seconds. No, we actually get to see all of Derek Reese. Derek Reese first meets up with Sarah Connor when they bump into each other, literally, and Sarah Connor sort of looks back like, who the fuck was he? No, never fucking mind, because I have more important things to deal with, like if I have to kill my sort of boyfriend. Then she sees him poking his head in at the chess tournament and then going back out. Then she sees Andy Good dead body and proceeds to chase after Derek Reese, and they fight, which sort of reflects part of their relationship from here on out, in that they love each other, but they are one of those couples that have a love-hate relationship. And yes, I ship Sarah. Yay. Later on, Sarah pretends to be a lawyer and chats with Derek in jail, and Derek sort of flirts with her. I fucking swear it's flirting. It's like, oh yeah, you look much lovelier than you did in your photo. And she eventually ends up helping him escape because she's attracted to him, and the fact that Derek is one of John's only living blood relatives. And how nice Derek is to Sarah, he is not so kind to James Ellison, because Derek has no fucking clue who Ellison is, and so has no loyalty to him. And Derek keeps on dodging question after question, and at one point Ellison asks Derek, tell me something I don't know, and Derek just simply replies, we're all going to die. Which to me sort of reflects about Judgment Day, like Derek just sort of warning him about Judgment Day without warning him about Judgment Day.